You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. My name is Larry ChillyBoy Chilson, and this is my review for Chicken Run: Dawn of the Nugget. Now, before we get into this review, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so that you can chill with me on each and every one of my latest videos. Chicken Run: Dawn of the Nugget is a stop-motion animated comedy adventure directed by Sam Fell from Aardman Animation. Having escaped from the farm, Ginger and Rocky welcome their own little adventurer into the world. Their new daughter, Molly, however, is not content to simply sit by and lead a peaceful life. All while back on the mainland, all of chickenkind faces a terrible new threat. The film stars Chandy Newton, Zachary Levi, Bella Ramsey, Imelda Staunton, Lynn Ferguson, and David Bradley. So Aardman Studios returns with a sequel to one of my personal favorite films from the studio, and that is Chicken Run. Now we're 20 some odd years after the original Chicken Run released, and it turns out Aardman is actually in a bit of a predicament themselves as they've run out of the special specific clay that they have, and the company that made the clay has went out of business. Somebody get these artists some clay because we need more stop motion animated films and specifically need more Aardman films, please. But while I am a really big fan of the original Chicken Run, and I pretty much am always excited for anything stop motion animation to be released, I was a little bit nervous because any of these long-awaited legacy sequels come with a bit of trepidation. And then we had the recastings. Now, obviously, Mel Gibson is a little bit of a no-brainer, but then he was recast with Zachary Levi, who's had his own controversies over the past couple of years. But the more puzzling recast was bringing in Tandy Newton, who I do love, instead of bringing back the original voice actress of Ginger, Julia Sawala. And recently I've seen that she actually voice tested and showcased that she sounds exactly as she did 20 years ago, and they still chose to recast the role. Very strange behavior, to say the least, from Aardman. But regardless, I enjoy Aardman films. I love the animation style, and I really enjoy the British sensibilities behind the humor. So I was looking forward to Dawn of the Nugget. And ultimately, I think this is a solid film. It never reaches the heights of the first, but it's still a pleasant, fun watch. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, my biggest positive is actually the animation itself and the production design. I thought the animation was absolutely stunning. All of these set pieces looked amazing and they were brimming with life. We have such inventive different places that we explore, a lot of different environments, and they all look incredible in this film. Our characters are obviously back and they bring back the magic that they had in that first film, but it's really the set designs of the animation that blew me away. It's gorgeous. I also loved Bella Ramsey. I think that they were kind of the highlight of this vocal cast for me. Molly as a character is a little bit shaky, but Bella killed it in what I believe is their first voiceover work. I think it's funny enough. The adventure is also fun enough. It's very similar overall to the idea and the basic story of the first film, just with some added craziness, if you will. And the added craziness really brings a new sense of adventure and fun to the plot itself. But it goes dark. Now, the first film also went dark, and really, Aardman is not afraid to go there with their films. But this one really kind of like hammers home the point of these chickens heading to their death. And it is not afraid to shy away from it. It really does the pipeline of what chicken nuggets are. So it goes there for kids. I mean, it lays the messaging right there for them in plain sight. And I applaud them for going that brave with it. And it breezes by. It's under 2 hours, and I think it is the perfect length. I was never bored. I don't think it drags at all. I also don't think it overstays its welcome anywhere. And I wasn't left wanting for more either. It really hits that sweet spot for the adventure it's telling. So then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to Dawn of the Nugget? Well, I have to bring up that voice cast. While I don't think Tandy Newton or Zachary Levi are bad per se, it's just a little bit distracting. Same thing like with David Bradley, who also was a recast for this film as Fowler. It just feels weird. It's just not quite the same. They're not quite the same characters in general. It just never fully meshed for me. I also think the original score was a little bit hokey. This is directed by the director of Paranorman, oddly enough, who also directed Flushed Away. This is much more in line with Flushed Away, which is another Aardman animation rather than Paranorman. But I kind of wish we had gotten a little bit more Paranorman, particularly with like a message. Because the messaging here as well is not really existent when it comes to the characters. Obviously, the messaging here with the chickens being sent to their death is forefront, but our characters learning their lessons is so generic. Like this family dynamic is so generic. We've seen the rebellious kid and the parents who want to protect them and are overprotective, leading them to do exactly what the parents were trying to prevent them from. And this doesn't really break the mold. It doesn't make you endeared to Molly as a character or to Ginger and Rocky as like parents. Everything is just kind of fun and pleasant and lovely, which is kind of a negative because the first one is so good. It's so funny. And unfortunately, this legacy sequel is just never able to reach the great heights of Chicken Run. And that's really all I have to say when it comes to Dawn of the Nugget. I enjoyed watching it. Actually, I have a reaction coming out that I filmed upon watching the film for the first time that will be released once the film hits Netflix. And you'll see, I had a fun time. I enjoyed myself. There are laughs here. It's a fun little adventure, but that's it. It's just a fun little adventure. In a year with some amazing animated films that pushed the envelope, that had amazing scripts, great character work, I was hoping we could add Chicken Run 2 to that conversation. And instead, it kind of falls in the middle tier of animated films of 2023. So if you enjoy Aardman animation, I definitely say check this out once it hits Netflix. If you enjoy stop motion animation, definitely watch this. It is gorgeously animated. And really, if you're an animation fan, this is a fun watch. Just know that unfortunately, we don't have another top tier animated film on our hands with the sequel. So that was my review for Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date on all of my latest videos, including my actual full movie reaction here on the channel. Also, make sure to join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Dawn of the Nugget? Are you a big fan of the original Chicken Run like I am? Let me know all of your thoughts either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!